I will tell you a secret. Do not tell anybody, because people who don't know me might think I'm bragging. But those of you who know me, you know I'm not. Hey, it's Terry, Virginia's daughter, and today I'm talking about fabric. Now let's backtrack a little bit, okay? For those of you who have been hanging out with me for a while on this channel, you know that for a while I went through a period where I was not purchasing any fabric just because I felt like I had excess. I had a lot of fabric, and I still do. I still feel that way. And there will come a time where I will purge my fabric collection. I've changed my tune. So I buy fabric now. It is not my goal to buy fabric like I used to. We used to, in church, we used to always say, you know, I may not be what I can be, but thank God I'm not what I used to be, right? So I may still be purchasing fabric, okay, after having stopped for a long period of time, but I will never purchase it like I used to. In any case, I had an opportunity to travel to Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is rich port, and it's the island of enchantment, I think they boast about being. And it's a beautiful place. I did not want to. I could have, but I did not want to go to Puerto Rico without buying fabric. You know, it's just what I do. I love buying fabric. I love to visit. And so I wanted to just make it complete by making some fabric purchases. You feel me? Let's get into it. I visited 2 fabric stores. The first one that I went to, they're both in Bayamon, and the first one is called Alonso Sobrino. This is the one that I went to first. Now, Alonso Sobrino is a store that has a lot of stuff. So for example, I think there's like 2 entrances that I know about, kind of far apart. And I went into the entrance that was furthest away from the fabric. So when I walked in, I saw everything but fabric. I saw beads, trims, feathers, I mean, you name it, I feel like they have it. Any kind of DIY jewelry making, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna refer to the website just to be certain because I don't want to give any false information. But it was after I had been in the store for a minute and then crossed over to the separate area that it was just fabric. So if I had to guess, I would say that between 1/4 and 1/3 of the store is just fabric. So I wasn't impressed by that. As a matter of fact, I almost felt obligated. I looked around, it's like, okay, well, this is what I see, so this is what I'm gonna get. But it wasn't like, oh my goodness, look at that. For the most part, I'd say they don't have like a great selection. I got 3 cuts from there, and I'm gonna start off with the largest amount that I got was 3 yards, and that is the silky kind of brocade type fabric. It was $11.99 a yard, and that's a little steep for me. When I do start talking about my fabric, you're gonna see just how much I buy from clearance. I do just as well in clearance as I do any place else, and that's usually the first place I go. This looks like it's 45 inches or 44 inches wide. Isn't that pretty? I'm not decided if it's some type of, what do you call that when people have their initials? This looks like it might be letters, but I can't tell. The nice thing about this fabric too is this is, of course, the outside. This is the inside of the fabric. I think it's just as pretty. I have no idea what I want to make out of this, but I did get 3 yards. You know, it's kind of stiff for like a flowy dress or like a drapey dress. That was one of the cuts I got. This is just a shirting. It was $9.99 a yard. It's probably 58, 60 inches wide. I love this color combination. It's got like it's blue and white with like a brown stripe in there. That's what really got me, was that brown stripe. I already know what I want to make with this. Look at me thinking I'm planning, making some plans for a project. So I had seen this shirt dress that I like, and I am gonna use this for that. So I only have 2 yards. I need to see how I'm gonna play with that. And last but certainly not least. Listen. I love this fabric. And I will tell you a secret. Do not tell anybody. This fabric was $26 a yard, okay? $25.99. I will make a whole dress out of this, right? I don't want to cut this up, blouse, you know, tie. No. Let's see, how wide do we think this is? Maybe 58, 60 inches wide, something like that. Yeah, it's got a little bit of stretch to it, but I love it. It is so pretty. Now, I have a question for you. I am sewing a suit. I'm making a suit. This lining would have been perfect in that suit. So my question to you is, would you use expensive fabric for a lining? Or what's the highest amount of money that you'll pay for a lining fabric, or a fabric that you could potentially use as a lining? Is $26 a yard too much for lining fabric? Let me know in the comments below what you think. All right, so those are the 3 purchases that I made from Alonso Sobrino. State tax in Puerto Rico is like 10.5%. And then there's like a 1% municipality fee or tax. Yeah, that's a little high. Okay, next, I gotta get my paper. This was a surprise. I have a friend named Lucy, and she sews. I mean, she sews, she makes jewelry, she makes purses. She is the bomb.com. She doesn't need a pattern to sew. Like, she'll see something, she'll draft her own pattern, cut it out, you know, make it. So she is the culprit here. She was like, hey, this place is going out of business. We need to go visit. And so I think she and I went the day before this store was to close, okay? And this is Olazábal and Company. It's also in Bayamon. And did I get some goodies here? So it was a little overwhelming at first, but once we separated, you know, we would just, you know, like, when you're looking with somebody, can you shop with people? I don't shop with people that well. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I have to be watching what they're doing or making comments on what they want. So, what they want. I like to go shopping with people to the place, but I like to split up. You know, meet me at the something at 3 o'clock. So we split up. Our paths did cross. I got the cart. I was like, let me grab a cart. So we were both using the same cart. Okay, but anyway, that's so much information, but it was a lot of fun. The first thing that I picked up was a white polyester. It was so thick and heavy. It was plush polyester, if there is such a thing. Probably hot, but it was nice and thick. Okay, but it was in like 2 pieces. But they were big pieces, you know, I could work with them. Okay, then I picked up a black lace fabric. Gorgeous. It was black lace and fringe. So it had, like, if you think of it like in rows, like the fabric, so it would be like a row of lace and then a row of the same lace with fringe over it. So it kind of had this like linear effect, exchanging textures like lace, and it was gorgeous. So I put those 2 in the cart, and then I got these 3. So I had those 2 in the cart, and then I saw these. This is the first one I saw. This is beautiful. Anne-Marie at Anne-Marie's Workshop. I follow her. If you have not seen her channel, you have got to go check it out. She's very funny, first of all, but then she has this like calming, kind of tranquil voice. And you know, she doesn't rush, like she takes her time. And the girl, she whips out some clothes, okay? The girl be making some stuff, the lady, I should say, the lady be making some stuff. So, and I think she's in Jamaica, if I'm not mistaken. But lately she had, on one of her Friday Sews videos that I recently saw, she asked the question, do you like large florals or, you know, smaller ones? And she loves big bold prints as well. And I'm like, bigger is better. You heard me? Bigger is better. Is that like, I think this one was the most expensive. Okay, so in terms of prices, you really didn't know how much stuff was. I mean, unless you asked. This one was $18 a yard, but I ended up getting it for $9. I got 3 yards. It's like a peach skin, silky print. It's 58 inches wide. The second one, I got 3 yards of this as well. This is a lace fabric. It was $7.50 a yard, but I ended up getting for $3.25. This is very, very pretty, I think. Oh my goodness, can you see that? Can you see that? I have no idea what I want to make with this. Because, you know, if I make a dress or something, I don't know. I may not need a fully lined situation going on. But in the color, this is one color that I really don't have a lot of. I'm glad I got it. In terms of stretch, see that? None hardly. That's a little bit more, but I'm not gonna consider this stretchy. Okay, and this actually kind of coordinates with this a little bit, don't you think? I think they do, look at that. Next, I think is one of my favorites. This fabric was $1 a yard. I got 7 yards. Because I just get a little greedy when it comes to fabric. This particular type of fabric, you know, you need extra to match plaid, you know, you got plaids. This blue just stuck out, and I don't know, you can't see it, but there's like just a vague yellow stripe throughout. That's the color I'd pick up if I were gonna match this with something. I thought about a suit. Definitely a pair of pants. I gotta have a pair of pants out of this. And why not a jacket? Pantsuits are on my radar these days. Wouldn't this make a sharp pantsuit? Like, it would be so sharp. Okay, that's the third cut. My goal was to get only 5 cuts, which I ended up getting. So here's 1, 2, 3, right? And these are the last 2. These 2 were not in my cart originally. They had a very expeditious process. So you got your fabric, you put it in a cart, and you stood in line. Now, while the lines were long, they had several stations where you could go get your fabric cut. And so you had an associate that was standing there telling you which table to go to. So it was very well, it was organized, I'll say. It was very organized. Okay, we're in the line. I saw these 2 bolts side by side of this blue and white and blue polka dot. And I couldn't resist. Right away, I went over it. Now, they had other color combinations, but this right here, these 2, raise your hand if you're feeling me on this. My goal is to like mix these prints some kind of way. I actually think I know what I want to make. I'm standing in line and I see these 2 fabrics. I pick them up and put them in the cart. And so Lucy says to me, 5 only? And I'm like, I know. Well, she had the wisdom to ask about that black fabric. The associate said that it was $100 and it was 25% off, and I could get it for $75 a yard. And I was like, you know what? This is very nice, but no thank you. I don't need it, and I don't really want it that bad. So I put that back. My next step was just to put that polyester fabric back. I do have a white linen in my stash that would make a nice suit. So I put the black fabric, the black lace / fringe fabric, and the white suiting, polyester suiting I'll call it, I put those back and I got these 2. So I got 5 yards of each, and that's it. That's my fabric haul from Puerto Rico. So let's do a little calculation here. At Alonso Sobrino, I got 7 yards for $107.93. Yeah. And then at Olazábal, I got 23 yards for $85.26. This is my kind of fabric shopping right here. I do this sometimes, but this is my favorite way to shop. Oh, this, I want to make an outfit. There's a McCall's New York collection. Remember back in the day they had those New York collections? It's a really oversized pants and shirt. I want to make this out of this, and I don't know how I'm going to color block it. So yes, I'm excited. Now, am I looking for more fabric? I'm not. You know, I'm okay. I'm satisfied. This is my second purchase in probably 6 months. Yeah, I don't see that I'll purchase any more fabric, really. Now, if I travel, chances are I'm gonna purchase some fabric. If I see something extra special online, I might purchase it. But locally, I really don't need to purchase anything. You know, I got enough fabric from Joann Fabrics. Thanks for tuning in today. I hope all is well with you. Do you have a favorite? Which one would be your favorite? I'm curious. Let me know in the comments. And until next time, take care.